mean, I don't know why any of this happened to bowling. I love bowling is a fantastic sport. It's great for inclement weather regions of the world, country, whatever you got, wherever you are. A great equalizer when you're in a foreign country and you're bowling at the bowling alley or theirs or yours. Doesn't matter about language. Strike, high five on the strike, smile, fist bump, whatever. But bottom line is, what? It's bowling. Bowling, a great, great sport. And why they just, I have no idea. Why it was tampered with. I don't know why it had, and what everything they've done to it has been negative. All the developments in bowling begin with the ball. Let's just start with the ball. Regulation ought to be 3 holes in a ball. This discus throwing move toward the floor is, first of all, there's nothing good about. I don't get what is supposed to be good about bowling without holes. And then they bowl, of course, at, it's got to be 150 miles an hour. Because years ago, as a long-time bowler right here, a PBA fan, went to Don Weber's every Sunday afternoon. We used to gamble and have a great time in high school and college, bowling for money, bowling in the league. We love this sport. Form was not all power. You didn't just throw it down the alley as hard as you could. So, to me, what's happening with all of this, it's hard for me to enjoy this. It looks like we have devolved the game a tad. I don't know if this is the rest of the decline of Western civilization is creeping in on us. I don't know. But come on, man. You don't want 3 holes in a bowling ball. You don't want the precision. And then, they got to use 5 balls now. That's another one. Say, wow, that's got to be that's got to be quite a scene. 5 balls and whatever. Yeah, well, because, they have a ball for the strike ball, okay? And then every different kind of spare, all right? So if you have a spare that includes the 1, 2, or 3 pin, that's a big deal. You're going to need action cutting across either diagonally or straight behind you. A lot of times the old phrase comes to mind. It all sounds weird as word usage now, but it was called double wood. Yeah, now it does. Sounds like a porn site. Everything does. So, double wood. That meant that you had to strike that pin, and your ball must roll through. It cannot ricochet on an angle. It will leave the second pin standing, and it's very frustrating before you learn that. Because you think you're going to make that spare, and you don't make that spare, because it was what? Double wood. Fantastic. I love all this. This is what I love about bowling, the complexity. But what they like is, they don't want to put any fingers in the holes. I don't know. Maybe the fingers got big. They were embarrassed to get the ball drilled. I don't know why you would go away from, I want a car, but I don't want a steering wheel. I'm going to try to use it in a straight line as much as I could, but I think the steering wheel is excessive. I would like to get back to real driving, which meant I didn't have a steering wheel. I just had an angle of approach. And you go, you sound like a lunatic when you talk like that. So the bowling ball, regression of the bowling ball, or the removal of the holes in the bowling ball, drove me a little crazy. Because I like the sport. And I'm watching it on television, which is in bowling universe terms, when you're among bowlers, around bowlers, bowling, at a bowling alley, in a bowling discussion. Yeah. There is, in that world, very, very interesting things that can happen with nuance on the ball. With bowling from an extreme angle, you need the 10 pin. You stand on the 7, 8, the 6 pin. You stand on the opposite side to come across, and you're releasing the ball. at a different place on the alley. How many revolutions does it need to get that traction? I don't know how you do this with the troglodyte ball, with the no finger hole ball, but the most beautiful spare. Everybody knows it. If you're a bowler, what is the most difficult spare? But when you see it made, you go, oh my God, this is an incredible moment. It's the 710. You get that ball over on the outside of the 10. We're talking about half an inch, buddy, a couple of centimeters. And the ball is revolving a certain way because you have laid that ball down on a particular board of the bowling alley. What is he talking? Why is he yelling? Why? Because they've destroyed this. It's like everything else, the barbarians, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths of today. They're at the gate. And I love a good gate. I don't mince words about boundaries. Love them. Give me a physical boundary. Okay, we're in good shape. So you roll it, and that 10 pin starts to scoot. The bottom of the pin is touched. It goes down on its side like a soldier taking a nap, and it slides across the back of the bowling alley. It takes out the other pin gently. Doesn't explode it out of there. It makes precise contact, and the 7 pin goes down. The whole alley goes nuts. It's not like getting strikes. A lot of guys get a lot of strikes in a row. You start getting hot, you got your groove. The alley hasn't been buffed and oiled enough, and before you know it, what? You're throwing strikes like a madman because you got yourself a groove. That's good. Those are good, but the 710, it looks like a physical impossibility until it happens, and when it does, boom, word goes from alley to alley. And, you get a free beer, you get a cute girl comes over, and, it's a bowling alley dynamic that can only happen. How are you going to do that with the troglodyte ball? Yeah, he's got no holes. He's got all 5 fingers on a bowling ball, like a discus throw or whatever. Now, he's resting the ball on the forearm. So he's got it, cocked in there in his elbow. He's got the bicep. He's got the deltoid. He's got the fore. What are you doing? I don't know. And they approach, like I said, very staggery. You don't see those real precise steps that build not too much momentum, just enough so that you have the touch. The whole thing is when you put the ball down. You put the ball down with touch. There's a touch. And it's a fling with them. They fling. They don't touch. They fling. And fling, it looks great when you fling it the right way. But when you fling it the wrong way, it looks like, who gave this guy a bowling ball until he's not flinging it the right way again. I don't know. It was a developmental type of practice makes perfect, and if we're flinging and we're taking away the holes on the bowling ball, I'm more worried about what random thought process leads you to regress. I'm just thinking my car, I want to get rid of those windows. Do I really need so many windows? Would I save money if they put steel up against the passenger side? Yeah, so what's wrong with you? Yeah, what do you got a problem with the glass? What's bothering you? You don't like the window, the power window, the crank window, the looking bothers you? Other things coming in? Not a value to you? You don't want to see turn you over your shoulder and see your blind spot? How are you going to look for you? Well, I get an extra mirror. I get a camera. The answer to everything in today's world, get a camera. Why don't you just get a camera? Put a camera there. You like cameras? Yeah. I'm with my own friends, including one of the funniest geniuses still walking around on planet Earth, Larry David. Love Larry David for so many life suggestions, but I'm with him and a lot of my friends. We're not going to use that camera to back up. We're backing up with a mirror. We're backing up by turning around, but we're not using a camera that comes out the back of the car. Now, I'm not a sniper in Washington, D.C., looking to take people out at a gas station, so I don't really need anything that looks out the back of my car. Is that where you got the camera? Yeah, this is what's happening right behind. I have a mirror. I have a rear windshield of glass. This will startle you, but I'm seeing right through the windshield. Why did you build another little piece of glass with a thing and stick it on? Why'd you do that? Well, a lot of people, they tell you, they always have an answer. They always tell you right away about the group that cannot use the mirror and the windshield successfully. They can't turn their necks. There's an outbreak, an epidemic in America of neck problems, neckitis, neck dystrophy, neck roll dystrophy. It's terrible, Ed. You don't know. So you went and changed the car for them? Oh, yeah, no, it's great now. They don't even have to move. We're trying to get people to never move again. If they could just sit still, and then they get the Google glasses will tell them the future, and the AI will uncomplicate everything, give them automatic answers, straight answer. You have that on your... I got that. That's why I'm holding this thing here. I got that. I got the AI. First, I hated it. I didn't want it. Everybody told me, forget it. It's gonna write all bad movies. You know what, guys? Guys, you don't want AI, so why? It's going to write all bad movies, bad TV shows. They're already using it. He goes, doesn't television suck? I go, it kind of does. Law and Order is flat this year. Yeah, but it's all AI. AI's writing it, thinking of it, the plots, the characters. Wow. Okay, so right away, when a lot of people hate something, I develop an affinity for it out of the other group not liking it. There's a moment in the film Glenn Ross. It's Al Pacino talking to a client. He's selling him land. And he says, when everybody goes one way, I go the other. When public opinion says one thing, I say the opposite. And everybody remembers a great Seinfeld episode where George can't do anything right. He can't get a job. He can't get a girlfriend. He can't move out of his parents' house. Can't do anything right. Everything he does, it's Jerry. Everything I do is wrong. And Jerry says, well, that's easy. Well, that's easy. Yeah, let's just do the opposite. And the whole episode, George does the opposite, and it works out for him. All he does is it takes something he was terrified of, and he pretends that he's totally calm about it, and boom, and I subscribe. I think it's much more scientific than George Costanza, although I have to say, of all the TV characters in my life, I have to say Costanza is right there. So, I don't know, if right now AI is so loathed and hated, I'm like, I have to get AI. So Google, which I use, you're either Apple or Google, I understand this, and I got a whole thing about Apple. Let's not get started, Garden of Eden, but whatever, they like it, they should do it. The Beatles had it, some people do well with it. Macintosh, obviously, is, the Apple, but remember there was a Macintosh. Let's not get away from what really matters. Yeah, what really matters. That's what it's all about, Alfie. It's going a certain way. There's a certain trend, and people start to rankle over that, and I explore the complete opposite direction, which I'm doing. As a Google guy, not an Apple guy, I have the Google phone. I have the Google phone. I've had the Google tablet, even though it perished in a in a very stressful moment. It did not survive its use in a studio. But the idea being, Google is the universe, the ecosystem, not universe, Google. The ecosystem is Google. And I received, I've been reading tons of stories, just like you, whether it's a Wall Street Journal or some tech thing. I read every day about AI. And I know Microsoft had it first or something, and that's not happening. Not going there. So I got a problem with those guys, too. I got a problem with the big A and the big M. But Google said, you know what? We've got the upgrade premium, top of the line, plus up, next level AI, and we'd like you to try it for free. And if you like it, it's $20 a month, but we will give you terabytes of storage, and you will have your own super duper high grade, high test, premium grade AI robot on all your devices. As long as it matches, and mine do, you got right. You got to have a Chromebook. You got to have all this crap, and I got it, and now. Nothing, I have not seen anything like this capture my fancy technologically, maybe since automatic transmission. When I first got an automatic, my first 2 cars were, my old man's like, you need a stick. You should be driving a stick. I go, but we live in New York City. You know, there's no place to open it up. Nah, you got to drive a stick now, and then later on in life, you'll know how to drive one. Well, of course, later on in life, I've never been asked to drive stick, but it was a same kind of thing. Well, reluctant and then try the new tech and go crazy with how great it is. So that's why now I'm going all in on this. I ask this thing and now I don't search anymore. I don't type anything anymore. I grab the robot, and right away it says, "Hello, Edward." Right away, my previous, they wanted me on Google Assistant. Remember this? Google Assistant? You had to say hello, Google, or hi, Google, or hey, Google. I didn't like that. I don't like Alexa. It's another one. I'll throw it right under the bus. She was listening to me at my last couple of radio stations. In the break room. She's listening to everything everybody said. You would say something, she'd chime in with some stupid article in Newsweek or whatever. No go. And Alexa wants, that she's the nosiest of all of them. My robot is very passive. My robot doesn't initiate anything. I'm not looking for initiative. I do all the initiating around here, Baba Louie. So, it's exciting because what is the best, ultimate best thing that a robot can do, and you're never going to get it out of a girlfriend, wife, companion you live with. It's not going to come. Direct answers. Every answer includes the question, which is how I was taught. That's when I was in school, baby. If you didn't mention the question, what is the capital of Bolivia or whatever, and I forgot. No, it would be what is the highest lake in Lake Titicaca? Everybody loves to say that, but you had to say the highest lake in the Andes Mountains is called Lake Titicaca. And then there would always be, what is the origin of the name of Lake Titicaca? And it would always say, unknown. Yeah, unknown. Or some Mayan is smoking that ayahuasca or whatever he's smoking. What's that stuff now? The guy on the Jets does it. Ayahuasca? Yeah, I can't even consider something that I'm not quite sure how to spell it, but they love that. You know what? A guy said, I heard a whole thing today. You know about this now? They're using psychedelic drugs in all kinds of mental health therapy. Yeah. Hey, how you feel? No, I'm really down. All right, try some mushrooms. This is good. Opened up pathways. You're going to be, meanwhile, some guy in New Mexico, he's still sitting under the jail because he was doing this on college campus when it was prohibited. All right. So, let's see. Let's do a little time check. 10:15 Eastern. I think any moment now, Walter Sterling will be ringing this phone, and I will be enthusiastically answering it. He's got a fantastic show, The Walter Sterling Show. Actually, it's already on. It started at 10. I believe we're in the second or third segment. And Walter is one of the great broadcasters, America's storyteller, is what his website says, and I would agree with that because he's had a storied life, exciting career, and he listens and hears everything. A good broadcaster, storyteller is someone who hears everything said around them, and we had a nice chat today, catching up on the phone. All right, so all I have to do is keep an eye on this boy, and we'll see what happens right there. Nice. We got our bowling material. That was nice. We got that done. I could do a little bit on Tyll lemonade. I don't want to give away too much. It's really for 2025. But oh man, have I got something? I have a lemonade you're not going to believe, and it will be a line of drinks because let's face it. They're all so good for you. Do you love your citrus? If you love your citrus, it's all good. It's all good for you. All right. And I don't want to give anything away because it's a trade secret, as I like to say. Trade secret. But it's not anything mystifying. When this stuff comes out and you're buying it, you're drinking it, you're loving it, you're saying, Ed Tyll, it's not going to be like, wow, he went into a laboratory, with a bunch of science. It's the opposite. It's so delicious and healthy for something that nobody does to their lemonade, and anybody, even the kids selling it for like 10 cents a glass. They could do this if they want. Anybody could do it. So I don't know how that's, I guess I'm going to have a utility patent. If I know my Shark Tank, I'll be getting utility so that when somebody else does do it, I will get a piece of the action. But it's incredible to me that no one has come up with this. If you read literature on the elements of a good lemonade, just take your lemonade, take your lemon, take the lemon, look at the lemon, all kinds of lemons, right? Sweet, bitter, big, soft, thin skin, thick skin. Love the lemon. There's something here that people are overlooking about the lemon. So I will leave it that way with you. And then, but when we have the big launch and the big grand opening, believe me, I'm gonna be out there talking it up because it's something I guarantee you we will find this in history. What's going to be in Ed Tyll Lemonade, which is just the working title. I can't give you the real name. But what's going to be there? You're going to say, wow, I bet you the Mayans or the Romans or somebody along the way. And they didn't write it down. They didn't tell anybody they were doing it. Somehow it slipped by them. But no, there's no question that it's a superior beverage. Here, I'm trying not to make too much noise with it here, but do you see it? Here we go. Okay. This is so good for you, number one. Number two, the purchase price, we're not going to go crazy with it. I would like mine to sell less than other guys. A lot of guys, the whole thing in Shark Tank world is what kind of margin, what kind of markup, what will they tolerate to pay? I like to go the other way. I like to come in affordable for moms and stuff. You know what I mean? Instead of, oh, my God, we can't get that. I'm going to let you buy one, but, we can't afford that. All. I want to go the other way. Yeah, okay. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. All right, stand by. Hey, Walter.
Hold on, I think I got a hold of it.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Ed, how are you, buddy? This is Sean from WPHT from Sterling every damn night.
Hey, man. Nice to speak with you.
I'm doing good, buddy. Listen, man, we're coming back right now, so can I get you set up? 10 seconds.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, stay on the line.
A local grocery store in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, collecting food for a local food drive in Bensonhurst. I love the music. This is America. Oh my God, cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. You remember this as a kid? When your mom would make it when you fix your tummy and stuff? $8. On the donut shop store, that's going to be 10. Under mine, it'll be less. Okay, what do we need? Oh my God. Carrot pudding. Do you remember that as a kid? That's home. That's child. That's the heart of America. Dougie Doug loves oats. He has a bit of an IBS problem. He doesn't need the flavor originals on the offer. Cereal. I love cereal more than anything. Oh my God, my friend John. With your friend John. We're texting this morning. Don't play too much.
Ed Tyll is in Central Florida. He witnessed all of the hurricane activity during the past week. I don't really trust reporters because they're so stupid they don't know how to get out of the rain. Why the hell would I want to see a reporter in a windbreaker that says weather or Channel 92 standing in the rain being blown against telephone poles? Are you that stupid? We got it. We know it's a hurricane. We don't want to see you blown around. We want to see the Sunoco sign blown around. We want to see the Toyota blown around and all of the boats blown into the beach. That's what we want to see. I don't want to see some guy getting blown around. Don't make that joke. But Ed Tyll is a great talk show host. He's one of the inspirations that I've had all my life because the man is pure energy, pure honesty, and he did something that was so brave. I never saw before or since another talk show host do it, and I will share that with you in a few minutes. But first, Ed Tyll in Central Florida, what's the situation now, and what did you experience this week?
If you look right down Malabar Road, which is State Road 514, and it cuts right across I-95, Walter, you and I would notice some evidence, an occasional a tree branch, a lot of big public areas, expansive. They've kind of shoved them out of the way, but there they are. 90% of what we would see all the way to the beach would look untouched. If you were 30 miles north of us, deadly tornadoes. If you were 30 miles south of us, the tornado was so severe in Vero, it cut across the concrete. It put a wedge into the concrete of I-95 and destroyed homes. So the random, disparate, but vivid remnants are there, and it was unique to so many other storms that I have been through. My reach for experience on this storm was Flagler County on the north. I do comedy at a club up there in Palm Coast, all the way down to Vero. So we're talking about 4.5, 5 counties, almost 2 million people, 200 miles of coast. So that was breathtaking to see one storm smack all of that. And volunteers, public resources were staged beautifully. I mean, we were just shaken off Helene only days before, so you wind up on your toes. And the size of the weather map, you could see that in people's faces at Publix, Winn-Dixie, Dollar General, Waffle House, gas station.
Wiggly.
Yeah.
You have a real governor. That helps.
This man, now, put the politics aside, because he's different in a different arena. This is his wheelhouse. No one does a checklist. No one does a definitive enumeration, and he keeps it all in front of his mind. Staging, numbers, what I had for you last time, what we've done since, his tone was, that's the textbook. That's what it's all about, what he did. And the results, much different than had we had different leadership.
Ed Tyll is in Central Florida. He's a brilliant talk show host, stand-up comic, friend. And now I have to reveal to you that I saw you do the bravest thing I ever saw a talk show host do, before or after. I never saw anybody else do it, never saw anybody else with the guts to do it. But this is what Ed Tyll did. I don't have the guts to do this. The radio station he was working at, which used to be much better, in Orlando, Real Radio 104.1, let's all remember who named it. And he heard that we were doing focus groups. This is when I wore a suit and wingtip shoes. He heard that we were doing focus groups on the host. We were bringing in people from the trailer park and the fast food joints and asking them questions about what they liked about the station and not. Ed heard about this. And he said, "Can I watch them?" And I'm like, "Are you out of your freaking mind? Do you have any idea the you have any idea the deflation to your ego when they know nothing that you've ever done in your life on the air, that they will have no memory?" And you sat there eating the free sandwiches, watching it like it was a movie. And I could not believe the courage as a talk show host to see your audience through a one-way mirror talking about your show. Why did you do that?
You know, there is a unbridled curiosity that would dwarf exactly the equation you just laid out, right? I mean, oh man, this will suck. They're not going to know what I said. They're going to get it wrong. They're not going to think highly of me. But the curiosity of knowing how another person felt from your work. You know, I'm really awash in that now because they can't hide their face when I'm on stage and they're 7 feet away. I can see if they're in or they're not in. And there are people that get up and go to the bathroom. They start talking. So you do want to know that. You want to know how you sounded to them. Just what you said a moment ago. Is anything getting through? You know, when we're doing it, we're always thinking about the listener who's got it all. They're following now, and I opened up with this, and the news story, and the soundbite. But they don't, yeah.
One of the reasons you're a great talk show host is something you just said that most don't say. Do you know what you said? You said the listener in singular.
Right.
And that's where most of them screw up. All my listeners. No, you don't have listeners. You have one listener. One.
Yeah.
And did you learn anything from this horrific experience, Ed?
You do. You know, I'm learning a lot now with the older years. Things are dawning on me. So what I really took away from this is how far ahead on what matters my little town was. And I think that's going to be reflected a lot of places. They weren't using the television to dictate whether to put up shutters, to go get the water, to make sure the batteries, what about the pets, where's Aunt Sophie? This was much more instinctive, and it was fun to see that as a kid when I was in New York and it was a snow day, I had William B. Williams telling my mom, you know, what I should do. And then my mom would turn to me, go get your rubbers and your galoshes. And it was pass the word. But now I saw real people. Hey, we got this. We're watching your pictures.
We got this. All right.
We got this.
We got this. There's the two words that you'll know what I'm about to say. They are hard out. I am grateful for Ed Tyll sharing this time on Sterling on Sunday. Great talk show host. Where are you appearing this week as a stand-up?
This week I'll actually be appearing in Rome. I'll be at the Rome Comedy Club in Rome, Italy, as I begin a month in Europe.
How cool are you?
So I'm performing in Rome. And then I'll be in the Edinburgh Festival in August, and I'll be at the Whiskey Cellar in Greenwich Village, New York on December 29th.
Ed, 2 words, hard out. You're the best. Thank you very, very much for being on Sterling on Sunday. The great Ed.
Rich, the only Rich, the only
Laura Lee Trump.
He's the best, right? There it is. Walter Sterling, The Walter Sterling Show. Oh, my God. You know, hard out. That means stop, Ed. It means don't wind down. Don't put anything on the Christmas tree. Fantastic. I love being with Walter. You know, everything he said back in the day, naming radio stations and making plans to do things that others weren't doing on the air. He's an incredible individual, this guy, Walter. As he mentioned, he began with the wingtip shoes and the Brooks Brothers suit and the executive suite, but he had an incredible intuition, he had a gut, had an ear for what was so personal, one-on-one, listener, host relationship. He just got it. He heard it right away. And now people listen to him and they marvel. Wow, this guy. Say, well, it's because it's years and years of loving listeners, as he said, one at a time. All right, Ed Tyll, right here on YouTube. You never know when, but I love being with you guys.